Hi everyone, Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. Welcome to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about 6 ways that we increased our income by $55,000 over the last 6 years without any college. And most of this I want to talk about is really more or less how my husband increased his income. So for those of you who've been following the channel, you kind of have an idea of where we've been and where we're at now. But for those of you who are new, welcome. We used to be a very low income, basically making $30,000 a year. I am a stay-at-home mom, and my husband works and provides for the family. I take care of the household and the kids. We have 2 kids. When I started my channel back in, I think, 2015 or so, my husband was working at Goodwill making about $10.50 an hour, and I would nanny my friends' kids for about $800 a month. So we were not bringing in a ton of income. I think every month he was bringing in, after taxes, it was about $1,400 or something like that. With my money, we basically had about $2,000 a month. So we were on food stamps. We were on access insurance, is what we call it here in Arizona. And I was going to the food bank every Thursday. So we were struggling, but we were somehow making it. So over the last 6 years, what have we done? So now my husband, with our income, we're on track to make about $85,000 a year. My husband works full-time in construction now as a pipe fitter, as a journeyman pipe fitter. I'm still a stay-at-home mom, but sometimes I do work at the Amazon warehouse seasonally, or I make videos on YouTube, or I deliver for DoorDash or Amazon Flex. So I bring in maybe $2,000 a year. Not very much compared to him. So Ricky went from making $10.50 an hour to now making $30 an hour, and his overtime is paid at $45 an hour. The first thing we did was he had to change his career. He had to go from working in retail, basically prepping and pricing merchandise and merchandising Goodwill, to getting into construction. So how did he do that? Well, I kept telling him, just leave, get a different job if you don't like, because he hated working there. But he was there for 7 years at Goodwill, so he had this pride of being there. He was like, man, that was a slap in the face. The last raise he got was like a 10-cent raise. We sold both of our motorcycles and paid cash for an RV, and we went and did some work camping jobs. So we worked at the sugar beet harvest, and we worked at one of Amazon's camper force jobs. And we spent 6 months kind of traveling, and we worked these 2 jobs. And it helped Ricky to kind of just see, hey, there is other things that you can do that don't require a college degree. Ricky and I, neither one of us have a college degree. Ricky has not attended any college. I attended a community college, but to be honest with you, the only reason I was enrolled was because I auditioned for the dance company, and in order to be on the dance company, you had to be a full-time student. So I took out student aid, I took out financial aid loans, just so I could be on the dance company. So I never finished, and so neither one of us have a college degree. I myself have a pretty intensive work history before becoming a stay-at-home mom. So I've had other jobs too, where I've worked at a laboratory, and I've been a supervisor, and I've worked as a finance counselor, all without a college degree. So I just want people to know that you can still make it in life without a college degree. It just depends on where you're at and where you're going. So anyway, so he didn't have any college education, and now he's seeing, hey, there are still other jobs out there. And then when we did the sugar beet harvest, he was introduced to working with machinery and construction machinery and things like that. And he's like, you know what? I like that. I like working my hands. I like being around this type of stuff. So when we came back to Arizona, he started working for a temp agency, and he tried different things. He tried landscaping. He was doing kind of like painting and things like that. And then he came across this company where he was a helper for these welders, plumbers, and pipe fitters. And he's like, that's what I want to do. So he pursued that. So the company he was working for through the temp agency, he just kept doing a really good job and kept making it known to the foremans that, hey, I want to be part of this company. So he eventually applied to actually be part of the company, and then they put him on like kind of like a probation period through their own temp agency, and then he got hired on. After 90 days he got officially hired on. So now he was making $14, $14.80 or $14.50 an hour as a helper or as an apprentice. So he went from making $11.25 to making about $14.50 or something like $14.50 roughly, just by switching the career. The second thing he did, he found out about the free apprenticeship program, and he started taking the classes required for the apprenticeship program through his employer. So they basically had little classes at their HR, at their main building, and this was through like an accredited program, and the company was basically providing them the books and everything, and they would go to class twice a week. They would take tests. It was a 4-year program, so he enrolled in this program. So that's another thing that people can do besides just switching careers. You could find learning opportunity, growth opportunity within your company, and if they provide a tuition reimbursement or they provide an actual program, take advantage of that. That was the second thing he did. So now he's increasing his skill level. So now his worth is higher. So each time they completed part of this program, he would get another raise. He also continued to work really hard and be well known to the superintendents and to the foremans. So when it was time for a yearly raise, he got a really good raise. So each year he was almost getting a $2 an hour raise just by being part of this apprenticeship program. So that kind of leads me to number 3, where he worked hard and he went above and beyond. So like I mentioned, he got that yearly raise. So besides he get the apprenticeship raise, he would get the yearly raise, but every once in a while he just got an extra raise just for going above and beyond and being known for being a really hard worker. Now here's the thing, if you don't have that type of thing, or you don't get raises very often at your work, you can approach management and just say, hey, what should I be doing to help me, in my next review? Or is there other positions here? Is there a higher position? What do I need to be doing or learning, or, to progress up within the company? Number 4, this is a big one, and this is still a big one now, is him working overtime. Like I mentioned, his overtime now is time and a half. So he gets paid $45 an hour for his overtime. And right now they're getting about 10 hours of overtime a week. That's an extra $450 a week of money. That's a pretty big jump. So that's why I say he pretty much works a full-time and a part-time job in a sense. Instead of going out and getting a second job, I would say start with your current job, because usually overtime is time and a half. So you're going to make more doing overtime at your current job than you are switching or getting a second job or a side hustle or something like that. So I encourage you, if you're trying to make some more money, try to get some overtime in. The 5th thing he did, was finishing that apprenticeship program, but also getting certified in a lot of other things, getting certified to use certain forklifts and certain equipment, getting MedGas certified, doing these different certifications that then again, not only he brought more value now to the company. So then he was able to be put into a position that paid a little bit more by getting these smaller certifications. So when he did his MedGas certification, that was an automatic raise right there by being certified in that. So again, if you're in a position where you're able to maybe get additional certifications, that might pay a little bit more. And the 6th thing, this is the most recent thing he did, was he actually changed companies. So now he is no longer an apprentice, he is actually a pipe fitter journeyman, and by switching to this other company, they almost gave him, it was almost a $3 an hour raise instantly just by switching to this other company. The other thing was that the benefits cost a little bit less. So we were able to add additional coverage. We were able to have additional so at the old company, he only had health insurance, but now we have health, dental, and vision for the same price that we were paying. So moving to a different company that's going to either offer you a bigger base pay, maybe they have better benefits, maybe they're a closer location to your house, so you're going to save on time and gas and wear and tear on your vehicle. That was another big thing. This was the tipping point, this was the pushing point that got Ricky to leave the other employer to this employer, was simply because of the location of the job, and getting paid a little bit extra was a bonus. So those are 6 ways that my husband increased his yearly income by $55,000 over the last 6 years. So obviously it didn't happen overnight, but we went from making about $30,000 to $35,000 a year to making $85,000 a year just within 6 years. So if we can do it without a college degree, you guys can do it too. So I wish you all the best. I hope this video helps you in some way. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to make more money because you've cut out as many expenses as you can, and now you just need to make more money. Hopefully these help you in thinking about your situation. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.